Hey, what's up, spooky fam? It's October, obviously, and what better thing to do in October than tell some spooky stories and talk about scary occurrences, and maybe we can try and debunk them ourselves or have some discussion around them, because I love that shit. So if you guys enjoyed, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe for more, check out all of my links down below if you'd like to purchase anything from our Halloween drop on our store. I've got a bunch of affordable Halloween decorations and things that I've made over the course of the past few months, and if you like Halloween earrings, jewelry, anything, there's freebies with every order. You guys will get free things with every order. Oh my gosh, I'm just so excited. Okay, if you'd like any of that, linked down below, as well as the thing we're gonna be reading from today. So I found this article from the one and only Spirit Halloween, and it is pretty much a small recap of it says 7 scariest true ghost stories on Reddit. And I've only ever had one paranormal experience where, after my uncle passed away, who loved Pink Floyd, and The Wall was like our thing. We didn't have internet, but somehow, like, I didn't have Spotify on the internet because we did not have internet at the time. Somehow The Wall started playing, and it was just the beginning of In the Flesh, the first song, and it scared the hell out of me because I wasn't I didn't put it on. So that is the only thing that I could ever attribute to a paranormal experience, and I don't even know if it was just like a glitch in my, like, I'm still skeptical about it in my brain. So we're gonna go through these 7 stories here, and you're gonna let me know what you think in the comments. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna leave this article linked down below. It also does credit all of the posters in that article, so I will do that in this video, but if you guys would like to search any further or find anything else, you can do so with the link down below. This made me stop working the night shift. This user posted about their time working the night shift in a long-term care home on the subreddit r ghost stories. One night, a resident's bell rang at 2:59 a.m. When the user entered the room, the patient asked that they remove the dark figure without a face that was hiding in her bathroom. Shaken, they assured the resident that they had done so and returned to their desk. 10 minutes later, another resident's bell rang on the opposite end of the floor. Upon entering, this patient said, "There's a creepy man in my room with no face. You need to get him out." Once again, returning to their desk terrified, the care specialist asked that a nurse stay with them for the rest of their shift. And shameless plug, I just actually wrote a story about a nursing home, a horror story. If you'd like that, it's down below as well. But this one actually makes me feel creepy because people at the end of their life, I've experienced with my grandma when she was passing, tend to, the thing that is said is when a person is passing, spirits from the next chapter will come to guide them, to bring them over to the other side, if you will. So I firmly believe that this could have been that kind of situation, but once again, I'm kind of a skeptic. But I mean, a shared experience with no face, I'm good. I'm out. Our bizarre experiences with the forest behind our house eventually forced us to move out. This user posted this creepy first-hand account on the subreddit r Paranormal in October 2021. At the age of 8, their family moved to a house bordered by a forest. Their dogs were immediately terrified of the forest and would bark while they stayed in particular areas. At night, they would hear sounds like people walking around the forest behind the house, and sometimes even saw shadowy figures. They then began to hear knocking at the back door and windows. As things escalated, voices began to come from the woods that seemed to impersonate other family members. This prompted them to build a fence in their backyard and install security cameras. Though the knocking and tapping continued, a culprit was never caught on camera. Someone walked in the back door on the final day they stayed in the house. They left after seeing the security camera footage that showed the back door open on its own. And I 100% am not a skeptic of flesh pedestrians, and if you know, you know. I firmly believe in that kind of thing because there is so much folklore behind it, and there is such strong mythos behind the flesh pedestrian. I'm not gonna say the actual name of it because what I've learned from Loey Lane, we don't say the actual name for those things on YouTube. But honestly, that just sounds like flesh pedestrian activity. Little kids come running around the ICU when death comes. This Reddit user posted an intriguing insight into end-of-life experiences in hospitals on the subreddit r/Paranormal in February 2022. This doctor described a particular phenomenon that occurs towards the end of many patients' life when they see small children running around their bed and outside their door. The doctor explains that this is more common in the ICU, but the pattern is very recognizable and the experience is very similar across all cultural backgrounds and ages. Experienced doctors and nurses are used to reports like this from their patients and learn to expect their passing when they hear this. This post concluded by saying, "So if you are doing rounds in the ICU late at night and hear some snickering or tiny feet running in the hallways, prepare, because the call of code green or code red is about to sound off on the PA system." I literally have chills reading this one. Even creepier are the scores of comments from healthcare workers beneath the post that confirmed similar experiences with the phenomenon. And I've had my fair share in hospitals. You guys know that I am a cancer survivor, so I've had my time in hospitals. I have heard many a code, but I never attributed like weird noises to anything. I just felt like it was hospital chatter, hospital noises. That is creepy. I got chills halfway reading that one. I just don't like hospitals. This user on r/Paranormal posted this hair-raising story about something she experienced in 2013 while she worked as an insurance claims inspector. She typically called her clients about 30 minutes before showing up to a site inspection. One day, she called a client's home to let them know that she was on their way, and a very old-sounding woman answered the phone with what sounded like a poor, static-filled connection. "Hello? Can you hear me? Hello?" After she was disconnected, she called back. There was no answer. She tried to call the cell phone number on file, and a young woman answered, saying that she was out but would return within 30 minutes. The insurance inspector rang the doorbell, thinking that whoever initially answered the home phone would answer the door. However, no one did. A few minutes later, the young woman who answered the cell phone arrived. Apologetic, the inspector exclaimed that she might have woken up the younger woman's mother. The woman looked confused and scared, explaining there was no older woman living in the house. After going inside, they checked the caller ID and discovered that when the inspector called, someone had answered the first call. The young woman became pale and terrified as she explained she had recently moved into this home and had been telling her husband she thought her house was haunted by an old woman. There is nothing like your suspicions being confirmed, especially in that situation. And honestly, if that happened to me, I would be back to mom's. Haunting Furby. This Reddit user posted this chilling story to r/Paranormal Encounters in July of 2021. This user owned the original Furby when they were younger, and 10 years later they found it in the back of their father's attic. At this point, it was pretty worn down. The plastic rubber on the nose was gone and its fur was pretty matted. They put it down and continued looking for what they originally needed in the attic. As they walked away, the Furby started to make odd, distorted sounds. The voice was sketchy and unsettling, but they didn't think much of it. The toy was 10 years old, and it had been moved and bumped around a lot. After it continued to make sounds, they walked over to it and discovered there weren't any batteries. In fact, they realized there hadn't been batteries in it for about 7 or 8 years, which sent them running out of the attic, never to return. And I'm gonna be honest with you, this one either could be entirely made up because like Furbies do that kind of thing, or it's because Furbies just are weird and malfunction. But my dream is to have one of those, you know, weird, long, gross looking Furbies that are kind of liminal, and I want one. I want to wear it around my neck like a freaking feather boa, and I want a large, fuzzy Furby. Is that too much to ask for? An experience I have a hard time processing. This Reddit user shared this interesting family ghost story from 10 years ago on the R Ghost Stories subreddit in June of 2022. At the time, he was 12 years old and jumping on a trampoline in his backyard. He could see the upstairs bedroom and a woman in a white dress waving at him from the adjoining bathroom window. Thinking it was his mom, he went inside and discovered that his mom wasn't home. When she returned home later from running errands, he described seeing the woman in white in his bathroom. Because he was growing up in the same house as his mother, she admitted that she had also seen the woman twice when she was younger, as had his grandmother. She also goes to say, it still kind of bothers me because I now sleep in the room with that bathroom and I can see the same window from where I'm sitting right now. And honestly, I feel like people in my life have had experiences where they've seen, like my best friend Deborah always says that her grandma comes to visit her. That's why when we went to the house, because I didn't know, when we went to go dog sitting over at her house, I would walk in and go, hello Nan, I'm just visiting, I promise I'm not an intruder. You never know. Skeptical as I may be, she's told me some pretty scary shit. And finally, we have the crib shadow. This Reddit user posted his real-life nightmare fuel on the R Ghost Stories subreddit in July of 2022. While babysitting his niece, he drifted off while studying and watching her from the baby camera monitor. He was awakened by the sound of whispering coming from the baby monitor and immediately noticed the video showing a dark figure in a corner of his niece's room near the crib. No thank you. As he wrote, I never felt more terrified in my entire life. He ran into his niece's room and didn't see the shadow figure, but grabbed her and ran back to the living room. When his brother returned, he asked that he not tell his wife and confirmed that he'd also seen the same shadow figure and heard the whispers near the crib. I'm shocked reading this one. They continued to live in that house for another 4 years, despite the fact that the little girl frequently talked about her special friend. No thank you. I feel like this could be, I don't know, because kids are more susceptible to that kind of thing. I used to babysit my younger cousins when I was like, I would say 15, 12 to like 17, 18, even later maybe, and I don't know, they would always do weird stuff when they were babies and like have conversations, and part of me thinks that the house they were in maybe could have been haunted because they would always like stare at the walls and babble at the walls and always point to certain areas, and I don't know, I never really attribute, I just thought it was baby stuff. But after reading that, I was thinking, I'm like, I'm glad I never had to watch a baby monitor and they were like toddlers, because I probably would have like imagined, seeing Paranormal Activity, I probably would have imagined something myself on the baby monitors and I probably would have drove myself crazy. So that is going to be it for 7 quote-unquote true ghost stories off of Reddit. If you like this form of video, let me know. We can definitely do another one. Like I said, I will leave the original post down below if you guys want to like visit that more. Please don't forget to check out our store if you'd like to support us in any kind of way, support me or the channel. I put a lot of love and effort into the Halloween artwork that we put on the store, and I'm just really excited about it. So I will leave all the links down below. Order my book if you'd like, and I will see you guys very soon. Sayonara, spooky fam.